Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Monday, June 26, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Let's get started with the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread. First card that we are starting our day off with today. We've got 2 cards coming out to start with right now. Oh my goodness, we've got the 2 of Cups back out. We had it yesterday. It is back out again today. And we love, can I say how much we love to see this card in combination with the Moon card in its reversal? Because what this is really talking about right now is, again, this is the continuation on the theme that we've been seeing over the last few days. A lot of concentration being paid right now to healthy, equal partnership. And what do you require in healthy, equal partnership? You require transparency. You require clarity. This is the clarity that you are working on achieving right now. For many of you right now, you are working to manifest this level and degree of clarity and communication and honesty in your partnerships as you move forward from this point. While for those that are in union right now, this could be putting a lot of work and energy in specifically getting any kind of clarity to allow for this equal partnership as you continue forward from this time. I will point out this doesn't necessarily need to revolve around romantic partnerships. This could be speaking towards any type of partnership that you are working on in your life at this moment, be it work, be it familial, but more than anything, the thing that we really appreciate about seeing these 2 cards in combination with each other is this is the clarity. This is working through those clarities. This is getting the clarity that you require or desire in the partnerships as you go forward. Either working tangibly in union right now to build this level and degree of clarity for yourself in this moment, or working right now on building partnerships that are going to have this degree of transparency and clarity as you proceed forward from this point. The next card that we are pulling today in our 5-card spread is... we have coming out here, we love to see this card as well. We've got our 10 of Cups here. Guys, these are some beautiful cards that we are starting our day off with today. I just need to point out, because what we are seeing here again, the understanding, moving right now with a lot of intentionality, allowing this degree of transparency and clarity as you go forward from this point. With a concentration towards those equal, stable unions, either working to manifest for this at this moment for yourself at this time, or working in partnership right now to have this level and degree of clarity and transparency, all to work to manifest the same equal long-term path and goals. This is a lot of clearing of that blockage that we've been seeing have been coming up over the last few days. But what we love about this is a lot of things are being worked through right now to help manifest this for yourself in this moment. Either working to manifest these types of partnerships that are going to allow this level and degree of clarity, or currently working in union right now to have and create and maintain this level and degree of transparency and clarity to build for that long-term path and goal as you proceed forward from this point. Center card for today's spread. What do we have coming through right now? The center card coming through right now is... we love this. These are beautiful because what we're really seeing here is, again, it is an understanding that is coming in union right now and in partnership, that what is required right now for equal, transparent, positive partnerships at this time is this clarity, is this transparency. We see that for those in union right now, this is a concerted effort to build this level and degree for that long-term path going forward. And also a lot of energy today being spent on planning, on getting the clarity and transparency you need, not only to manifest the long-term goals that you're hoping to move into as you proceed forward from this point, those long-term manifestation goals as it relates to partnership, family, etc., but also letting that be that clarity that you require to help build those experiences, to see what the road ahead looks like for you as you proceed forward from this point. Beautiful cards that we are starting our day off with today. The 4th card that we are starting our day off with today is, we've got a transverse star energy, which is very intriguing because this card may look a little familiar as thunder cracks. This card may look a little familiar because we did draw it as our card of the day just a few days ago. Now, there is some moment right now, I have to point out, especially with this Moon card in its reversal, Moon card energy is difficult. One of the things that we've been identifying right now is there is a need to have some difficult conversations, to work through some things that are difficult. Now, we did get clarity in the last few days about the fact that the difficulty around these circumstances and situations that you're finding is a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. Bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine energy, we were seeing this was becoming more of an energetic blockage. Something about masculine energy coming into union right now with their own emotionality, but having a difficulty in expressing truly what they're feeling at this moment. For feminine, we saw that same blockage coming through right now, but the need and utilization to be your most authentic, vulnerable expression of self at this time. For the feminine energy, this is some of a blockage that is still being potentially worked through right now. One of the reasons the feminine energy could be working so hard right now to try to get this level of degree of clarity is to make sure that they are in places and spaces where they can feel like they can be their most vulnerable, authentic expression of self. This could feel like a little bit of a challenge right now, even as you're working to get this level and degree of clarity for yourself right now, feminines. While for masculine energy right now, this could be feeling like you are, again, either working right now to get into manifestation or connection right now with a feminine energy that you identify as in this star energy, or working in union right now with an energy to get the clarity that you need to be able to proceed going forward. But for the masculine energy that is in union, this could be working right now through some difficult conversations, having these points of honesty, recognizing that the feminine energy, trying to ascertain what you can do or what you can add in terms of your own clarity to help this energy feel open and vulnerable to you as you proceed forward from this point. This is working through a blockage if you're currently in union around the feminine energy, masculines. While for the other half of the masculine energy right now, this could be you potentially working to manifest this energy towards yourself in this moment, but having to have some degree of honesty and openness as it relates to your own ability to come into partnership with feminine energy right now, recognizing that only through that degree of honesty and communication can you move an energy that may be feeling somewhat on the fence as to whether they can be open and honest with you at this point. This is you allowing this level and degree of transparency and clarity through so that you can get in better connection with this energy. The final card we have for our first 5 before we start getting clarification on these cards today is we have here our 6 of Pentacles in its reversal. So this has to do with some of that blockage that we're currently experiencing, and it will feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. Do you remember what I said about the fact that these are difficult conversations, right? The moon card deals with things that are feeling hidden, things that we keep in the shadows. This could have a lot to do with very deep emotionality here that needs to be expressed and articulated. These are not easy conversations or pathways to move into. But what we like to see for both feminine and masculine right now is there is a concerted effort that is occurring to shed light on any of these spaces or places that you feel you do not have clarity on at this time. But we are seeing here a little bit of that reluctance, a little bit of that inhibition coming into the forefront now. For feminine here, this is where we're seeing some of the blockage, because while the feminine energy might be working right now, either again, to manifest going forward into partnerships and spaces where you can feel like you can be completely vulnerable and honest. We see that feminine is also working through their own blockages in this way that sometimes prevent them from being able to do so. So for the feminine energy right now, this could be feeling some of that degree of difficulty as it relates to being your most full, authentic, vulnerable expression of self that is requiring or causing you to feel like you have this need to hold back a little, even as you're working very tangibly either in union right now with a masculine energy that you are also desiring and expecting the same degree of clarity and transparency from at this moment. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, what we're really identifying is you potentially working to manifest this type of partnership into your own life at this moment, trying to be as forthright and open as possible as you work to manifest this right now, but also experiencing your own anxieties and doubts and fears coming to the surface in order about whether you find that you have these safe places, have these areas and opportunities to allow yourself to do so. For feminine energy, we're seeing here that the way the reciprocity is coming through right now, that's going to allow for this degree of vulnerability and authenticity to come into play, has everything to do with what you feel you are receiving back in kind. Feminine energy is becoming extremely reflective here. So the feminine energy is basically looking right now towards the outside energy and saying, I'm willing to give and be as open as you are willing to be open. And feminine is utilizing that barometer right now to really decide whether it is safe for them to be their most authentic expression of self going forward, or whether they feel like they need to hold something back at this time. While for masculine energy right now, this is you potentially working through any hurdle that you're personally experiencing right now with a feminine energy that may be feeling some of this trepidation, some of this vulnerability coming into play. You are potentially also working through some of this blockage, though we noticed with the readings that we've been doing over the last few days that this is more of an emotional blockage for the masculine. There's something about a difficulty in expressing a lot of this emotionality that you're feeling at this time that is feeling a bit difficult for you. Again, working right now though through some of those hurdles, but also feeling some of that resistance point, because your anxiety is lying in the feminine energy, looking at them, trying to anticipate whether they'll be open and be able to receive what you are bringing forth to them at this time. And it is this anxiety in terms of how what you're giving forth will be received that is causing some of the blockage for you at this moment. But again, you are also in a way mirroring the feminine energy, seeing and testing how open and receptive they are to what you're trying to communicate, to make sure that you're not going to accidentally make them feel closed off or separated from you to some extent, but really kind of giving just a little right now, like almost like bit by bit, to be able to assess how the feminine energy around you is going to take that as you proceed forward from this time. For the energy, that masculine energy that's in union at this time, this could be working with a feminine energy in terms of what they need, what they feel that they need going forward that will allow them to feel open and vulnerable and able to be their most authentic expression of self towards you at this time. While for the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this could be you trying to be more open, trying to be more expressive, but also really testing the waters to a certain degree, if you will, as it relates to not being sure whether this energy is going to be in a space or place where they'll be accepting of what it is that you're trying to communicate or share at this time. Now let's get some clarity on the cards that we're seeing right now. Clarification right now between these beautiful cards, these absolutely beautiful cards that we're seeing in this moment right now. This excellent Two of Cups in combination with our Moon card in its reversal, in combination with our 10 of Cups energy here. So again, for both masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. There is a unified collaborative moment happening right now with the feminine and masculine energy, putting a lot of focus on the equality of partnerships and utilizing authenticity, openness, expression, revealing anything that is hidden, trying to come into a transparent space, all for the sake of building a long-term positive outcome and making sure that the unified energies around you right now all share the same collective purpose and goals as you proceed forward from this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification. I already saw the card coming through, and we love to see this card in its upright because it was in its reversal yesterday, folks. She's back. She's back. She was in our reading yesterday in her reversal. Today we are working right now in their upright. We love to see it. For feminine energy right now, there is a recognition. We are experiencing it now. If you were paying attention yesterday, you will recall that the blockage that we saw yesterday was entirely in the heart space of the feminine. That for feminine and masculine, there were some feelings of heartache, of being able to move away from some circumstances or situations that was creating a bit of pushback. That was also making it very hard for the feminine energy yesterday to be able to take more of this highly intuitive, logic-based approach as it relates to going forward because of so much of that pain they were trying to release in the heart space. We're not seeing that problem here because what we're actually seeing that's very beautiful here is that feminine is doing a lot of work right now to shed light and to be as open and honest and forthright as possible at this time. all for the goal of building better partnerships in this moment, for that long-term desired outcome to come into focus, to really work on those manifestations, because feminine is recognizing that that is how the feminine energy is able to stay in this higher logic-based intuitive mindset as they proceed forward from this time. And we do see here that feminine is using a lot of this capability and degree right now. This could feel like a bit of that separation point, moving away from some of that heartache that we were seeing yesterday. Feminine's coming back into their more logic-based thinking, their more intuitive powers right now, as they proceed forward, utilizing that and also being open and receiving and desiring that back in kind to be able to manifest these ideal partnerships, either working in collaboration with partnership energy right now to get this type of clarity, to build this long-term plan and path going forward, or again, utilizing this approach right now to manifest partnerships in this same effect, with the goal of manifesting the long-term path forward, recognizing that you need that transparency to be identified if you're going to proceed forward from this point. While for masculine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are working either in collaboration with a feminine energy that you feel and recognize has this ability to maintain a logic-based approach. And it is this logic, it is this higher energy that is allowing you to feel like you can be open and honest with this energy, recognizing that they are in this higher logic-based intuitive approach that is allowing this ability and transparency, that is helping you build a more secure partnership at this time that you feel is aligned and manifesting to your long-term manifestation or goals moving forward. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, this could be you working to manifest this for yourself at this time. You're recognizing that only with you, by having an energy of a feminine around you at this time that can accept and be open to what you are able to express to them and is able to do the same in kind to you, that is what is going to help you build the partnerships that you feel that you can truly fall into and trust and feel secure in, with the energy of a logic-based feminine around you at this time that will help you achieve those long-term goals that you are setting for yourself going forward. For both the masculines that are not in partnership right now and the ones that are, there's the same mindset that is taking into play, which we love to see. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now, between our 10 of Cups energy in combination right now with our 3 of Wands. So again, a lot of direction, a lot of focus being paid to the path ahead at this time, with a feeling of really working in alignment to your long-term plans and manifestations. Very happy to see this card here because we've been seeing a lot of blockages recently as it relates to planning. Today we're seeing a lot of that getting cleared up here and a lot of that focus returning to the long-term path and goals right now, simply because something about the short term is starting to get more optics. It is starting to feel more available. You are able to see that path forward at this time that's giving you the ability to also start to plan for that long-term path and manifestation going forward. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the 8 of Swords. So this is some of that blockage that is also getting cleared up with that Moon card energy here, because what we're really identifying is some of the things that are being revealed to you at this moment have to do with self-limiting beliefs, situations or circumstances that you feel are keeping you somewhat blocked or unable to move to the degree or capacity that you want right now. This is some of the hurdle that you're potentially trying to overcome right now, because while we see that the short-term path is available to you, that long-term goal, we do feel like there are some circumstances or situations in the immediate present that are creating some blockages. But we actually identify and recognize what's important about this right now is because you're getting some of this clarity right now in terms of the short-term and long-term path that you're manifesting towards yourself with at this moment, as well as the short-term, you are turning your concentration today for both masculine and feminine on what is creating more of an immediate blockage, dealing with present circumstances, dealing with present limitations to help you have more flexibility to move towards these laid out goals with even more intentionality and freedom as you proceed forward from this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 3 of Wands in combination with our star in its transverse. So this will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, we are seeing that there is some feelings of vulnerability that are coming into play here. Feminine is working to be able to be in their most authentic, vulnerable expression of self. And all of that is only achievable for the feminine with this degree of being able to see the path forward. The feminine energy is putting a lot of concentration right now on being able to see that short-term path forward to help them feel more comfortable about being their own authentic expression of self at this time. For the feminine energy that is working in union right now, this is a lot of working on plans so that you can feel more comfortable being yourself, coming into your own power at this time, because we do see here that there is some somewhat blockage here. For the feminine energy that is working right now to manifest in this moment, this is you potentially putting a lot of work in right now to build these plans, to build these short-term objectives for yourself at this moment that are going to allow you to feel more at ease, being more comfortable in your skin at this time, being able to be your most authentic expression of self. While for masculine right now, again, this is putting a lot of focus right now on building these plans right now, either again with a feminine energy that you recognize is feeling a little bit vulnerable, that's making it hard for them to be their full expression of self to you at this time, or for those that are not in union right now, trying to lay out these plans so that you can get in better connection with the feminine energy that you recognize is in manifesting this star energy, but maybe feeling somewhat blocked in terms of being their most authentic expression of self around you at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Knight of Wands in its reversal. This is some of that communication hurdle that we were talking about coming into the forefront right now. As we said, there's something here that is difficult to communicate. There is a blockage right now for feminine and masculine, even as you're trying to work right now in these places of spaces of being as open and honest as possible at this time in order to achieve better union and partnership. For masculine energy right now, there is something that's coming through as it relates to being able to communicate with the feminine right now. You are personally experiencing some hurdle about conveying your passion, being able to do some of this planning at this moment. For the masculine energy that is working in union right now, this is working right now in tandem with the feminine energy that is also experiencing some blockages. But what's beautiful about this is we're seeing that for the masculine and the feminine right now that are in union, you are collaborating right now to get more clarity about what the short-term plans are to help overcome any of the personal hurdles the masculine may be feeling in driving forward with your plan, your communication, your passion at this time. While for feminine, this is helping you come into a state of feeling more open and vulnerable to the masculine energy. All solved with the ability to plan and coordinate in conjunction right now to build that clarity and balance as you proceed forward from this point. For the masculine that is not in union right now, this is working right now on some situations or circumstances where you may be feeling a bit blocked. You are looking right now with some observation towards a feminine energy that you would like to move towards right now. But we are seeing here that you yourself are holding back on your own communication at this moment, potentially even uncertain how that feminine energy would take that kind of ability of you coming forward in this way. And that is what you are also seeing here for the masculine, is this is a moment that you yourself are doing a lot of work to plan how you ideally want to approach a feminine, that you're recognizing this uncertainty as it relates to how they'll accept your offers at this time. Potentially, especially recognizing that there may be something about some of this feminine energy right now that is not going to be inclined to be able to come towards you right now if your offer is just one that seems focused on serving your own passions and goals at this time. You are working right now on finding the right way to communicate with this energy in a way that you feel is going to be most productive. But we're also seeing that this could be very difficult for the masculine energy right now too, because there's something about the fact that when the masculine energy cannot communicate from emotions, they usually try to drive forth with passion. But this is leaving you at a bit of a loss right now, because you may be identifying that this is not something that you can do either at this time. While for the feminine energy that is not in union right now, this is a moment that, again, you are working right now to come into a space or place where you can be your most authentic expression of self. You are weighing that on planning, on communication, potentially to help identify and articulate upon the masculine energy around you right now. Recognizing that when the masculine energy isn't able to provide this clarity, isn't able to provide this intentionality, isn't able to provide this inconsistency, it puts you in a space where you don't feel vulnerable and open and honest to them in this way. Feminine energy is using the barometer of communication right now to really determine whether they want to move forward with any masculine energy at this moment, or if this masculine energy is showing some degree or level of inconsistency, that's what's creating a blockage for the feminine in truly expressing themselves to that masculine energy at this moment. That's potentially a walking away point that we may be seeing for some of the feminine energy right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, between our star energy in its transverse in combination with our 6 of Pentacles in its reversal. This is going to feel very different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this is working through any personal blockages that you feel about being your most authentic, vulnerable expression of self. Feminine needs to feel safe and secure in order to be in their star energy. There's a lot of vulnerability at play when we see the star energy. Something around this right now is causing some blockages in the feminine being able to feel their most vulnerable expression of self at this time, and it has everything to do with reciprocity. For the feminine energy right now, this is a moment of working through any of these doubts or feelings with a mindfulness towards what you are getting back in turn. If the feminine energy is not getting that reciprocity right now, this is a feminine energy that is potentially pulling their own energy back. This is a feminine energy that is pulling their own energy back because the feminine energy is not feeling like they can be vulnerable in these spaces. It is not feeling like a safe space for the feminine energy to be their most authentic expression of self. For some of the feminine energy, this is a point of identifying the spaces and places that are making you feel like this at this moment and potentially pulling your own energy away from them at this time. For the other half of the collective right now, this could be you working in partnership right now to identify exactly what you need and what you have to be give back in turn so that you can feel like you can continue forward in that space of feeling open and vulnerable and supported, even as you're feeling some moments right now where you may require and not be in a space where you yourself are able to receive or reciprocate to the degree that you would ideally be able to at this time. This could be feeling more like a personal foundational issue right now for the energy that is in feminine and in union at this time, but you're working to overcome this hurdle right now with the masculine energy, with clarity, transparency, and reciprocity to overcome this. While for the masculine energy right now, this is either a moment right now that you yourself are feeling. If you are not in partnership right now, this is you feeling a kind of a fundamental blockage here, that there's something here that you are feeling some doubt or anxiety or pulling back your own energy right now, even while you're having a lot of manifestation energy directed towards a feminine energy that you are recognizing to some degree or capacity doesn't seem like they'll be open or vulnerable to you for it. For masculine energy, this is potentially creating a moment of doubt right now as to what to provide the feminine energy that's going to allow them to be more open and vulnerable to you at this moment. Feeling the anxiety and what is going to help clear this blockage is actually blocking you right now, because we're seeing here that this is that uncertainty in how to proceed forward at this time. Well, for the other half of the masculine collective right now, if you are in union, you are fundamentally working right now on trying to come into a space of understanding what you need to provide this feminine energy in order for them to feel open, in order for them to feel vulnerable, working through any of these hurdles and recognizing that a lot of this has to do with open, honest communication. Open, honest, consistent communication. Because when we don't have this open, honest, and consistent communication, that's when we see the blockage of the feminine beginning to occur. For both masculine energy that is in union and not in union right now, there's a lot of orientation in terms of what you need to give to make the feminine feel like they can be their most authentic, vulnerable, open expression of selves to you at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with The Page of Cups, which is very intriguing. So let's discuss this. So one of the things that we're seeing here right now, again, for feminine energy, this is where we see that there may be some of this anxiety point that is coming to the surface right now. For the feminine energy that's not in union right now, this could be a moment where if you're not necessarily getting that reciprocity, that consistent communication, that consistent giving back and forth right now, you yourself may potentially be pulling back your own energy because you are looking at the energy around you right now and you are seeing it in a space where you feel like it may be serving their own interests, that there may be something here that's like coming through where the feminine energy is looking towards a masculine energy that isn't giving this degree of reciprocity, and they're just viewing them as someone who's in a space of only moving as it based on their own earthly delights at this time, that they're only concentrated on their own pleasure instead of allowing the feminine to feel comfortable. And that's actually pulling the feminine energy away from any of this energy that feels like it's much more serving their own purposes at this time. While for the feminine energy that is in union right now, this is working through some situations or circumstances, trying to get some clarity in this moment from the equal masculine energy that is around you at this time, working to overcome any hurdles as it relates to reciprocity, but also not necessarily maybe even feeling at this time at a point that you can be open and vulnerable. This is feeling more like a personal blockage, but you are getting some support in some way by that energy showing you in some degree in union that they are there to help you and help you support and make you feel better, even as you're at a point where you yourself are feeling a little anxious about being vulnerable. This is coming through if you're in union right now as like a movement right now of someone effectively trying to cheer up the feminine, if you will, as they're going through a moment of personal crisis, by showing the fact that there is this sense of delight and play that this energy can bring even in the midst of some difficulties that you're experiencing. While for masculine energy right now, there is a moment that could be feeling very difficult and problematic, depending on whether you are in union or not. For the masculine energy that's working right now on partnership or in union, there is something right now where, again, you may be experiencing a feminine energy that may not necessarily be feeling their full authentic self today, may be requiring a degree of assistance. You are doing or not necessarily able to aid you right now in the way that you would ideally desire, but we see that you're really coming through in this way right now, lending support to this energy, even as they're having some of these experiences or frustrations in a personal space. For the masculine energy right now that is not in union right now, this could be feeling like a lot more difficult territory to experience, because what we're really identifying here right now is this is a moment that you yourself are potentially putting a lot of direction and manifestation towards a feminine energy, but you're not sure what to provide that energy that is going to allow them to feel open and willing to kind of be vulnerable to you at this time. You may be trying to move or encourage this feminine energy right now out of this by offering some like sense of play, by offering some sense of like low-key enjoyment. These are like very playful opportunities, almost like trying to like lure this feminine into a space where they will feel more vulnerable. This might feel a little problematic for the masculine right now, because this may be the approach that you're feeling is going to be what you would like to bring to this feminine, but we're also seeing here the anxiety that you might have about how they will receive it is what we're really seeing. That's where that anxiety is coming into play right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our High Priestess in combination with our Eight of Swords. So for feminine right now, feminine is working right now with that higher intuitive mindset, allowing themselves to come back into that higher logic mindset, allowing reason to dictate their choices right now, moving away from some of that heartache, heart space energy right now, because what we are potentially identifying is this is the energy that feminine feels they need to embody right now to get through any self-limiting beliefs or immediate hurdles that they're currently experiencing at this time, utilizing these logic-based approaches to help them through some places right now that leave them feeling less than able to be their most authentic expression of self. This is helping to clear up that star energy in its transverse right now, the logic-based approach. While for masculine right now, this is again potentially feeling some degree or capacity of limitation in terms of you being able to be your most authentic expression of self. Also encountering, pushing up against your own self-limiting beliefs at this time, feeling somewhat trapped. But again, for the energy that is in union at this time, this is getting the immediate assistance of a logic-based, intuitive, feminine energy around you right now to help you through any of these feelings of blockage that you're currently experiencing at this moment. While for the other half of the collective right now, for the masculine collective, this could be feeling to a certain extreme like your hands are tied, that you don't know how to proceed right now towards a manifestation of feminine that you recognize as embodying these qualities of having this highly intuitive, logic-based approach. But that's the problem. You're recognizing that this is a blockage because like you want to kind of come to them in this energy, in like offering something that feels light and fun, but you're feeling to a certain extent an inability about recognizing whether that energy would be able to or even willing to accept that kind of offer or opportunity at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Nine of Pentacles in its reversal. So for masculine and feminine right now, there is something here that is a bit of that disordered energy that you saw yesterday, right? We saw that with the world in its reversal. There's some immediate circumstances that need to be adjusted or amended or worked through right now. For feminine right now, a lot of this is potentially in the tangible space. A lot of this for the feminine right now is working through any self-limiting beliefs and difficulties and hurdles. And a lot of this might be feeling like it's having an immediate impact in your immediate environment at this moment. Feminine energy is literally pulling themselves out of their heart space right now, not letting themselves get caught in any feelings of heartache, because they got some stuff they need to work through. They got some practical stuff that they need to work through right now. We saw that there with that Ace of Wands and its reversal yesterday. This being for the feminine a moment of really just getting things done and utilizing a lot of this logic-based mindset to help overcome not only the self-limiting beliefs that they may be experiencing at this moment, but also like some practical things that they just need to kind of like resolve for themselves at this moment. Again, either working in union right now with masculine energy, getting this level and degree of support as they take these steps going forward in this way. While for the other part of the collective right now, this is like unattached feminine energy that's really just dealing and working through what they need to work through with a lot of concentration and effort on their own self right now, employing a lot of this logic-based intuitive mindset to overcome any immediate challenges that are being addressed. While as they may be feeling right now the masculine energy, the reason they're coming into this is feeling like the masculine energy around them right now is too much invested in their own pleasure and not in a point of collaboration, which is pulling that unattached feminine energy back to a certain extreme. While for masculine right now, again, this is working through any immediate blockages or hurdles that you may be experiencing, either in alignment right now with a feminine energy that you recognize has the insight, has the intuition to help you through any of these challenges as you both equally address anything that needs this point of correction going forward, but feeling that support even as you yourself are feeling a little blocked in this way. While for the other half of the masculine collective, if you're not in an attachment situation right now, this could be feeling like you are having a very, very hard time connecting with feminine energy right now. Because what we're really seeing is the fact that you are putting a lot of energy right now towards a manifestation of feminine that you're working to move towards right now. But it seems like this energy is untouchable to a certain extent. These are some untouchable cards that you may be potentially feeling right now with the Star and the High Priestess here. That this feminine energy is in a way inaccessible to you at this moment. And it's creating a sense of chaos for you. It's creating a moment right now that you're feeling some of this frustration because you can't figure out a way to move towards them right now. And it's also creating a feeling of imbalance in your own immediate environment as you struggle to figure out what to do in this circumstance or situation. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Eight of Wands, swords, in combination with the Knight of Wands. This is going to feel a little tricky, particularly for the masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, what we're really identifying is there is something here For the masculine energy that is working right now in union, even if you're in union right now, we are seeing that there is some immediate communication block that's happening. There's something that is blocking you from being able to channel your passion and your communication at this moment. And it is driving you it's making you nuts to a certain extent, because what it is actually, but there's a deeper recognition for the energy that's in union right now, the masculine energy. Working through any self-limiting beliefs that you feel are creating this space that's making it hard for you to be able to articulate and communicate your passions at this time. This is a lot of work that you're doing if you are in union right now to overcome self-limiting beliefs that are blocking your own ability to express and communicate what it is that you truly desire to at this moment. While for the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this is feeling like a huge hurdle that needs to be overcome, because there is something here that we are identifying that you want to potentially move towards a feminine energy, but you're not feeling like you can. You're feeling like you are literally unable to in some capacity and degree. This could have to do with your own personal feelings of anxiety that we saw about how it will be reciprocated, and that anxiety around the reciprocation point and how and what you want to communicate right now is creating the hurdle in you communicating at all with that energy, feeling or recognizing or worrying that the energy will not reciprocate or desire it in the same way that you yourself want to communicate or express it. This articulation blockage, this uncertainty on what to communicate, is what the blockage is for the masculine that is unattached right now. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment. If you are in union right now, you are working right now through your own personal hurdles. There are circumstances and situations that you feel have you somewhat trapped. These could be tangible issues that you're working through right now as it relates to your own immediate environment, or these could be mental blockages, places of self-limiting beliefs that keep you feeling trapped or unable to be your most authentic expression of self at this time. But you are also working right now with masculine energy through their own blockages. So this is a lot of effort that you're both exerting right now, because you're also recognizing that this is hard work from the masculine too. That something about what you're communicating right now or working through is also creating some blockages for the masculine. But you are trying to get out of these self-limiting beliefs right now to be able to be in a better alignment with this energy. This is a point of observation for the healed energies that are working on how to repair the relationships moving forward. While for the feminine energy that is not in union right now, this is you potentially, again, feeling somewhat frustrated, potentially feeling somewhat trapped, because again, we're seeing feminine energy right now is moving in a space of being in that high priestess star energy. They're moving using a lot of logic and intuition, working right now and feeling potentially frustrated around the masculine energy that's around you right now, feeling like that masculine energy either isn't communicating or isn't consistent, or putting a lot of degree and concentration on whether that energy has the same intentions as you do at this point, with a focus on making sure that the energy that you are aligning with is not just moving, serving their own purposes and needs at this time, but really focused on building that long-term path and growth for you as you proceed forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Two cards coming out to clarify right now. We like this. We like seeing this. This is going to help with the hurdle, because what we're seeing here, and we've been seeing this card coming up a lot recently, this has to do with balance. Balance and ambition. Balance and eagerness. Balance and everything having to do with that, with the energy that is coming towards you right now. For feminine, all of it right now has to do with the energy. And what we really like about this is where we see the clarification that's currently happening with the feminine right now. The feminine energy right now is moving into a space. What we're really identifying here is, in a way, for the feminine energy that's working right now in active union or working to heal union right now, there is a recognition that you'll be satisfied to a certain extent, that it's not necessarily whether or not the masculine energy communicates the right thing at this moment, but it is their own ambition to find balance. that is going to help alleviate any of these feelings of vulnerability or trappedness that you're experiencing right now. It is recognizing, it is the point of healing that's coming for the feminine right now, that the masculine might not necessarily be doing things perfectly, but their own desire, their own drive, their own tenacity in working to create this sense of balance between you and them at this moment, this is what is allowing you to come out of that blockage and feeling like you can be more vulnerable, because you're recognizing that even while there is a hurdle that needs to be overcome, that degree of commitment to that tenacity of the masculine that you're in union with to build towards that state of equality is what is driving you forward and giving you that ability to proceed forward on this path right now. While for the feminine energy that is potentially not in union right now, this is a moment that you are working right now on the identification. The reason that you are potentially holding yourself back, if you will, is also, again, weighing the energy around you at this time and really trying to determine if that energy shows a degree, a tenacity, an ability to move through difficult situations and hurdles in a consistent fashion, or if they are someone who is just serving their own needs at this moment, who are just following where their own desires lead them rather than staying in a consistent way. This is what's creating that balance right now. And feminine energy not in union is heavily judging the masculine energy around them right now to determine if they are this or they are that. If they are showing that tenacity and commitment in the face of difficult circumstances, or if they're showing to some degree or capacity that they don't have the ability to maintain that same focus, that any kind of hurdle or challenge just sends them away, makes them not communicate, just blocks them off entirely. Feminine's utilizing this in a way. What we love about this, which is why we see this high priestess energy coming into play, feminine energy is utilizing this as their point of identification on whether or not they want the energy to come towards them right now. They're like, okay, it's difficult. Is that going to effectively stop you? While for the masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that could be feeling very frustrating. Now, for the masculine energy that is in union right now, this is a moment that you are feeling somewhat passionately blocked. There's some difficult conversations here. There may be some communication hurdles that need to be addressed. You are working right now with feminine energy through some of these hurdles, all for the sake of building balance. And while you may be experiencing right now that there are these hurdles here, you recognize that this is an equal give and take. And that is giving you the tenacity that you require to go forward from this point, to lend assistance to a feminine energy that in some way or degree needs your level of assistance at this point, working on how to articulate and communicate that effectively. While for the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this is going to feel very difficult because what we're really seeing right now is there are some circumstances that you just want to move towards. You want to move towards a feminine right now that you are simply feeling is like, I'm getting here like cold as ice. You are worried she is cold as ice to you at this point, that she has disengaged effectively. That not only are there blockages around them at this point, but that they themselves are in a space where they may not necessarily trust you, because we've got the star and its transverse, and that they're very much taking this like cold logic-based approach on things right now, and it's blocking your own ability to communicate with them because you are feeling so much anxiety about expressing your passions at this time. You are feeling like you cannot communicate because you're feeling like that energy might not accept it. But you are working right now on balance. You are working right now on trying to find that point of balance. And there's something about trying to find that balance point right now that is driving you forward with your own ambition to try to make this right, to try to find some point of equality with this energy at this moment. Oh, big reading today. Continuing to get clarification. Oh my goodness gracious. Getting clarification right now. Oh my goodness, what is this energy here, masculines? What is this energy? Getting clarification right now between our Knight of Wands in its reversal in combination with our Page of Cups energy. So masculine energy today, There's like I gotta point out for masculine energy today, there's a bit of like a regression point that's happening here, even for the masculine energy that's in union. Because what we're really seeing here is there's something here for the masculine energy that's in union right now. There's something that is effectively blocking your own ability to passionately connect at this moment. This is either coming through right now as like a practical degree or ability not to be able to like passionately connect with feminine right now, or it could be feeling like a lack of inspiration. But I don't think it's a lack of inspiration, because we see here that the masculine energy is in a sense of play. They're in a sense of delight. There may be something that is tangibly blocking either the expression of passion and inspiration right now, or an anxiety in expressing your deeper passions right now that is almost creating a regression point for the masculine, where you're turning to your own sense of play. You're moving almost into something easier. It's almost for the masculine right now, it's coming into something like, I can't express what I truly want to express right now, so I'm going to express something that feels lighter, that feels less significant, that feels more playful. Because of the anxiety about what you're trying to express. This is some of that moon card energy in its reversal coming out to play. Something that desires, something that it desires to be expressed right now, but feeling that limitation or blockage in terms of how to actually do it for the masculine right now. While for the masculine energy that's in union, could potentially be a tangible blocker right now that's causing this passionate blockage, but allowing you to move back into something that feels more playful today. For the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this is you potentially literally feeling blocked in some capacity from some energy of feminine that you desire to move towards right now. This is either a personal blockage, you feel like you cannot build your own capacity or understanding in what or how to communicate with them. For the others, this could be feeling like you are being fundamentally, tangibly blocked by this energy. And you are instead just moving into a space of trying to distract yourself. Just trying to distract yourself from the situation or potential circumstance by moving into focusing on whatever makes you feel good at this moment. Just putting your concentration right now on anything to help distract you from this blockage that you're potentially experiencing at this time. While for feminine energy right now, this is that moment that you yourself, if you are in union, you are working right now on helping a masculine energy that is feeling somewhat creatively blocked, but also is in this sense of play. You're working through the communication hurdles, but also by taking a more playful attitude, co-adopting in union right now, keeping things lighthearted to help overcome any of the hurdles that you're experiencing around this masculine energy at this time. While for the feminine energy that is not in union at this moment, this is that point of potentially why we see the feminine energy coming into this high priestess right now, because the feminine energy is looking around at the masculine energy around them right now. And they are feeling that either the energy itself is not potentially consistent or communicative, or it could potentially be feeling like they're just acting like very childish energy, serving their own needs right now. There's a lot of judgment that the feminine energy not in union right now is putting towards the masculine energy, just kind of looking around it and being like, are you going to take things seriously, or are you just moving based on your own personal interests at this time? May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with a direction towards care of the self, which makes a lot of sense, because what we're seeing right now for the feminine energy that are sorry, I see some of the comments. For the feminine energy that is not in union right now, this is really just a turning away to a certain degree towards any energy that they feel is not coming through in a consistent fashion. Feminine energies in their high priestess, they don't need it. Feminine energy is like, I've got more important things to deal with right now. I'm working on my long-term goals. Are you going to match me? Because apparently the feminine energy right now, if they feel like either the energy around them right now is either a masculine energy that isn't showing a degree of consistency as it relates to communication, then they're viewing them as someone who's serving their own base needs and only following their passions by the nose. or they're looking at them and looking them as childish energy that is only concentrated on pleasure and what feels good. And feminine energy is just turning all their concentration and effort back into their selves. They're like, if you're going to come towards me like that, I'll just take my energy and bring it back to myself. Thank you so much. I'm good. I don't need any more slices of cake. I'm good. I'm just going to take care of myself at this moment. Well, for the feminine energy that's in union at this time, there is something here that feels very different, because what we're seeing here is this is a masculine energy that you may be experiencing right now, that there is something here about that passionate connection. They're feeling somehow passionately blocked, but you're sensing this sense that even while they're going through a bit of a communication or passion hurdle, they're still coming towards you in a very caring fashion, trying to offer you something even through their own difficulties. And this is what's restoring the connection, because this is what's showing degree of the fact that this energy is able to provide care even at a moment that they themselves are feeling a bit of a blockage. Very different energy right now, depending on whether you are in union or not. Now, for the masculine energy right now, either if you are in union, this is a moment that, again, it is very similar, that you yourself are in a space where you are feeling some degree or capacity of not being able to passionately connect the way that you would ideally want to connect at this time. But you are turning your attention towards things that allow you to feel a point of easement. There's a little bit of regression energy here. There's a lot of kind of boyish energy coming to play for the masculine energy right now. Maybe even returning to some childhood energy of things that you find delight or playfulness in, because there's something about doing that feels restorative to yourself at this moment. Even in these connections, and maybe even trying to connect with the feminine energy at this time by keeping things on this less serious degree. So in a way, what's almost happening for the masculine energy that's in connection right now, there are deeper things that are harder to express. So you're keeping things light, all for the sake of maintaining the emotional restoration of the partnership. While for the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this is very frustrating, because what I'm seeing here for the masculine energy that's not in union is there is a feminine energy that you're trying to connect with, and you feel like you can't. You feel like the anxiety that they don't want to connect with you on that level, that they've really pulled back into themselves right now, that they're not allowing that degree of vulnerability. And you're literally either feeling fundamentally blocked in terms of your own ability and knowing what to communicate to them at this moment, or you're feeling tangibly blocked, like this energy doesn't want anything to do with you. And this is what's making you kind of turn back to yourself, resorting to whatever feels good at this moment, because you're just trying to take care of yourself through this, is what we're seeing here. So this could be feeling very difficult today too. But again, for the masculine, the important thing for the masculine energy that's in this moment, that's experiencing this, is not to let yourself fall into too many vices today. Keep the focus on what feels good, but also it takes care of you. Because sometimes this Page of Cups energy can make some bad choices. So keep that in mind today for the unattached masculine. Make sure that a lot of the things that you're turning to cope right now are going to be ones that feel supportive to you, and they aren't going to take you into the wrong direction, because this could be a bit of challenging energy between what you might be feel called to do to help you overcome any of these hurdles versus what you know is best. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Nine of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Knight of Swords, in combination with our Justice card. So a moment of correction that we're seeing. It's not that everything is easy peasy right now. There are some tangible issues that we see need to be worked out right now for both masculine and feminine energy right now. For feminine energy right now, what's really interesting is, again, there is a moment for the feminine energy that is in union right now. This is a moment that you're overcoming any fundamental hurdles, tangible hurdles right now. But even as you're experiencing some of these tangible hurdles, you are seeing the support of a masculine energy that shows the tenacity and the conviction to work through any of those hurdles with you. And this is where we get that Two of Cups, that balance coming in. This is something where the hurdle is almost proving to you that this is the energy that you want to move towards at this moment. While for the other half of the collective right now, for the feminine energy that is not in union or in partnership right now, this is either, again, putting a lot of attention right now on the masculine energy. Recognizing that there are some things that are not easy around you right now that you're trying to address. You are weighing the feminine energy that is not attached right now is judging harshly the masculine energy. Not because there's a challenge, but they are weighing the masculine energy's response to the challenge that they are currently experiencing, to let that be the determining factor of the tenacity and conviction of that energy. Not when things are easy peasy, but when things are difficult, to see if that energy is maintaining the conviction through a difficult challenge. And that's what they're utilizing to weigh about whether they're going to allow that energy towards them or not in the first place. While for masculine energy right now, this is that moment. Either if you are in union right now, you are again working on some situations or circumstances that you feel require you. You are recognizing that there are some issues that need to be corrected for, but we see that you're going in full throttle on them. You are showing your conviction. Something is not necessarily right now, and you're putting your full energy in trying to fix it, or working into a way of, if not fixing it, trying to make a circumstance and situation as balanced as possible. And that is what's allowing you also to come into a point of balance as it relates to your own partnerships at this time. It's showing your own degree of commitment. It's like your passion is coming out here because there is something that needs to be addressed, and it is doubly enforcing and giving you even more confidence in it, because even through the difficulty, you're still recognizing that sense of balance with the feminine energy. While for the masculine energy that is not, and you're working with the feminine energy to correct for these points right now. While for the masculine energy that is not in partnership, this is a moment where you are putting a lot of care and attention to what isn't working right now. You are trying to do everything you can to create a sense of balance, and you are feeling a lot of conviction and purpose coming to the forefront right now as you go through some moments right now that could be feeling like immediate energy of discontentment, immediate issues with your immediate environment at this time. And you are putting all of your time and energy right now in trying to create a sense of balance for yourself, because something about the immediate environment that you find yourself in is almost creating a sense of immediate external discomfort for you. Because what we're really seeing here is potentially for the masculine energy that it is not in union and is feeling somewhat blocked. It's like you have nowhere to put your energy because you're so unsure about how it's going to be accepted. But you're also feeling that drive to be able to do something with it. That is potentially, and again, for the masculine energy, not in union right now. If you're experiencing this, I want you to express and maintain a lot of moderation today, a lot of care in terms of your choices. Because we see here, there's a lot of aggressive energy around this about your own feelings of conviction, but also your own frustrations with your immediate environment. Maintaining balance today is key for you, for the unattached masculines that are experiencing this right now. Don't make a bad situation worse because you're feeling this point of frustration on where you find yourself at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Where were we here? The clarification point coming through right now. That's exactly what we needed to see. The Page of Pentacles coming through here too. So this is what's really important to see here as well, because what we really see here is, again, the masculine energy that you're feeling this. If you're feeling this point of frustration today and you're working to try to maintain balance, tangibles, right? This is the solution to that problem, masculine energy, if you're feeling like this. Because what are you going to do? If the feminine energy is in a space where where you feel like they're not going to take any kind of passionate entity to you, and they're not in a space where they want to kind of move into a place of having fun or doing something more lighthearted, the solution is, again, focusing on that long-term path and goal. Actually coming forward with a consistent offer in terms of being able to tangibly show what you're offering in an emotionally open and expressive way. That's going to clear up the blockage, especially with that moon card in its reversal, because the feminine energy wants honesty at this moment. They want to see something of substance. They don't want to operate in a space of pleasure or passion. They want something that feels real and consistent at this time. This is what will help clear up the blockage for masculine. And masculine energy, putting your care and attention into that offer right now, will help you maintain balance even in a moment that you may be feeling some of this blockage. While for feminine energy, for the masculine energy that is in union, this is a moment that you are fundamentally providing this to the feminine right now. You are literally offering this opportunity of consistency and stability going forward, because you're recognizing that that is going to ease any of the difficulties that you're currently experiencing. For the feminine energy, this is all feminine energy wants at this time. This is all feminine energy wants at this time. This is the articulation of what the feminine energy wants, both in and out of union. Feminine energy, it's both in and out in union, are feeling some moments are tangibly difficult for them at this moment. They're working to overcome some immediate hurdles in their own life right now. They're working on balance with the masculine energy. And this is the energy the feminine wants right now, as opposed to this, and as opposed to this. The feminine energy is really looking right now for a masculine energy that is showing a degree of tenacity even through difficult circumstances, that is able to provide some sense of consistency and stability even in a difficult situation. This is what's allowing the feminine energy in union right now to proceed in union. This is what the feminine energy not in union right now is weighing the masculine energy for and saying, are you showing a tenacity and degree of being able to come through even during difficult circumstances with something that feels stable and true and actually tangible? Or are you just following your own passion? Are you just showing inconsistency because it's just based on your own needs and desires? And are you just playing games? Are you just acting in a childish way? Are you just interested in personal pleasure? This is that heavy judgment energy we see with the high priestess here in the star energy around the masculine right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Justice card and our Ace of Cups. Two cards we love to see together, because what we're really identifying here is, again, a moment for both masculine and feminine energy that is requiring a reorientation point today in one's own self-care on what allows you to maintain and keep this level of care for yourself going forward, as well as balance. Beautiful, beautiful cards for them. For the energy in union right now, this is feeling that point of balance in union right now, because there's something that's not just balance, but it's also promoting your own care of the self in the process. While for the other half of the collective not in union right now, this is a moment of having to put a lot of personal investiture right now in your own level and degree of self-care to maintain a sense of balance. For feminine energy, they're already there. Feminine energy is already there with the high priestess and the star in its transverse. Feminine energy is doing this by protecting themselves from outside energy. The feminine energy not in union right now is doing this by protecting themselves from outside energy, by heavily judging the energies around them right now to determine if they also employ the same level of care of the self towards the feminine as they would ideally desire. For the masculine energy right now, this is a call to you today, if you're not in union, to maintain a point of moderation through anything you're feeling at this time. Make sure that the choices that you make today are ones that truly allow this degree and care of the self. This is a call for moderation right now for those unattached masculine energies. Because I'm telling you guys, these two cards together are not great. I want you to be careful and cautious today about your choices, masculine energy. May I please have one card to clarify? Hold on, I gotta get these back in order. Clarification coming through right now with, we like seeing this, our Four of Wands. So many things about planning right now. So many things about opportunities for feminine and masculine energy. For the masculine and feminine energy right now that is in union, this is a point of celebration. This is literally a point of celebration. There's something here that's coming to the surface, some clarity point that's being reached right now that is reaffirming the relationships, the healthy partnerships, because you are seeing here that equal give and take, that equal balance, that supportive energy, even through some difficult challenges right now, through open and honest communication. And this is creating a cause for celebration around these points right now. For the masculine, feminine energy that is working right now separate, that is moving right now in a space of independence. This is a moment that even for yourself at this moment, particularly coming into your high priestess energy and the star and its transverse, you are working on this level and degree of care of the self right now, maintaining balance and feeling like there is this point of celebration, putting a lot of concentration on those plans, on some paths moving forward. There's a lot of planning happening here right now for the unattached feminine energy that is a lot about their own personal goals, your own personal desires, the spaces and places you're creating for yourself at this moment, potentially even some like laying down plans for trips or any kind of like positive circumstances that you're building for yourself at this moment. The orientation for the unattached feminine right now is very much on their own selves right now and what they're trying to create for themselves. And a lot of this planning is that internal planning as you work to maintain this balance for yourself at this time, with a lot of heavy judgment on the energy around you right now to see if they're aligned or they're coming up to bat in the way that you would ideally desire at this point. For masculine energy right now, that is in union. This is also a point of celebration if you're experiencing this, because you're finding that transparency, you're finding that openness, you're seeing that balance, you're feeling that degree of self-care, and this is cause to celebrate. For the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this is a moment of working through a lot of these challenges and hurdles for yourself at this time. There is a deep need for the masculine, unattached masculine energy right now to maintain a level of degree of balance, all to support your own level and degree of self-care. And keeping your focus potentially on what you are trying to grow for yourself at this moment, utilizing today as well to create these plans, to create this pathway for yourself going forward, not allowing yourself to get caught in any of these communication hurdles or moving too much into like moments of going into what feels good as opposed to like good planning right now. The reorientation point for the unattached masculine energy right now is this moment of keeping your orientation on what you're trying to move towards. This is what's going to help them unattached masculine energy right now from not coming out of balance or for getting a little too indulgent today as you're feeling some of these communication or passion blockages at this moment. Keeping that focus on those new goals that you're setting for yourself or what you ideally desire and moving towards them will create the sense of balance for you and support going forward from this time. Final card for today's spread between, we love these, by the way. We love these cards in combination. Our Page of Pentacles in combination with our Four of Wands energy. So for the energy right now that is in partnership, this is a moment of, again, having some point of celebration, feeling some point of victory right now, potentially even having some offers, some really focused, consistent offers coming in today that create a cause for celebration. Big energy here for any energy that's in union today. While for the energy masculine, for the feminine energy that is not in union right now, this is a moment that you are keeping your focus on the energies that are approaching you right now with tangible offers. What is able to actually be seen? What is showing some consistency? What is showing some tangibility? Versus anyone that you feel is moving more from their own vested interests or personal gratification. And keeping your focus entirely oriented right now on what is showing up in a tangible way and building these experiences and plans for yourself going forward from this moment. While for masculine energy that is unattached, this is you putting a lot of effort and energy in right now at this time towards those spaces and places that you want to materially invest in right now with a goal to your long-term path going forward. You're feeling in a momentary blockage right now, but you're allowing yourself to move through it, not by getting into a place of overindulgence, but putting in that practical application to what you're trying to grow and build at this time. Final card for today's spread. We love this. This is such a good reading today. This is a beautiful reading today. This is that point of victory. This is moving into that space of victory. We've got here, I like seeing this too, because I feel like all we ever get is this Ace of Swords and its reversal. There's a triumph here. There's a victory on the horizon for everyone who's getting this reading today. There is this point of success that is being walked towards moving forward. For the energy that is in union right now, this is that like critical moment. There's something here that's saying that there's some kind of like profound degree of success that is potentially being unlocked today as it relates to communication and planning that is really going to double down and give you more commitment going forward from this. For the energy that is not in union, for the feminine energy right now, even you are moving into a space right now where, again, you are taking a lot of direct action right now to build these up opportunities for yourself at this moment, potentially even receiving some tangible offers today, potentially either creating some tangible offers for yourself at this moment. So we're also seeing that there is this moment right now of victory as you move forward with so much intentionality going forward from this time. For the masculine energy right now, even if you are going through, if you're unattached, even if you are going through some degree of hurdle right now as it relates to your own ability to communicate, we see that something about this blockage is actually really helping you identify where you want to put your time and energy, where you truly want to invest it going forward, even through some of this hurdle. And that is really clarifying your own path forward at this time, potentially also even receiving some kind of tangible opportunity and support right now that helps really define this for you. And even you yourself are feeling a victory because you are becoming more convinced in terms of what you need to do, where you want to put your energy, and the opportunities that are coming towards you at this point. Bottom of the deck on this reading right now. Oh my God, it doesn't want to leave the bottom of the deck. It doesn't want to leave them. I swear to God, we've been getting this card bottom of the deck right now. We've had it a couple, I mean, it was definitely bottom of the deck yesterday. And we've definitely seen it there on a few other occasions. The emotional communication right now is the blockage. We're seeing that. For masculine and feminine right now, as I said, moon card, a lot of honesty, a lot of truth coming to the table right now. For masculine energy, this is feeling like there is something about your own anxiety in expressing your emotions at this time. There's something here where you feel somewhat blocked in being able to truly articulate what you're feeling at this time. Masculine's moving it literally, and we see that here today. You're putting that space in like every other space you can think of. You're putting it in tangibles. You're putting it in trying to like create moments of delight. You feel blocked in terms of communicating it from a passionate level. But the truth is, it's all because there's an emotional blockage that's making it very difficult for masculine to truly say how they're feeling at this time. For feminine, this is, again, if you're in union right now, this is feeling or experiencing that masculine is having some of this emotional hurdle that you need to work with them through right now that's making things a little bit difficult in this way. While for the feminine energy, not in union, this is the anxiety point. This is why the feminine's moving right now into that high priestess energy, because feminine has, the unattached feminine right now has a deep anxiety that the masculine energy around them is only coming towards them for their own purposes, when truly they're looking for the emotional connection. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please keep in mind, booking a reading with me is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you hit both buttons if you'd like to have a reading with me. Most importantly, please, 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 please remember that I will never, ever, ever reach out to you for a reading. I will never PM you. I will never DM you. I will never slide into your DMs and tell you that I have a special message that only I can give you. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you go to my website. So go there and book it there. I want to thank you guys so much for sharing this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.